Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are on our way to our garden plot because the sad day has finally arrived. We might be getting some frost tonight. Sad to say, but there are certain things that I want to get out of the ground and overwinter them. And one of them is our pepper plants. So I will show you today how to overwinter your pepper plants. Stay tuned. And so today's goal is we are going to take out 4 of these, so 2 sets of our Great Northern bell peppers, and then 2 of our Megatron jalapeno ones. So we're going to dig them out, repot them, and then get them ready to overwinter. All right, so a little bit of a curveball. I couldn't find a great spot to set up and actually film everything. So I'm going to show you a different process, and I'm actually going to use my potted ones that I have, and I'll show you how to overwinter those. So here we go. So here we have one of my grow bags with our garden salsa peppers that we have. And what we're going to do is we're going to get this ready to overwinter. All right, so the first step is getting all of these off of the plant, okay? So you just go in here and you just start picking them off. You get them all off the plant. So this is your final harvest with this plant or any of your pepper plants. And then you can start the process after that. All right, so we have all of our peppers off, and now comes the not so fun part, because you've watched this thing grow all spring and all summer, and now you have to chop it down, okay? And so what you're looking for is and this is a great example, is you're looking for where the main stalk comes up and then it branches into that Y. Okay, and what you're going to do, and on this first node where you kind of see it right here, so you can see some leaves right there, you're going to come up a couple inches and you're going to chop off there, chop off here, and then do the same thing over on this side. Chop off, and then you'll remove all the other leaves that are on there. So this one's actually going to be a pretty quick one. If you look at this one over here, again, looking for that Y, going up to that first node, so I chop here, chop there, and then remove all of these leaves underneath it, okay? So I'm gonna get going on that, and I'll show it in the video. All right, here we go. Like I said, this is the tricky part. This is where you have to have a cold heart, and you have to just trust the process that it'll work year after year. And it does work year after year. If you do everything right, you will actually have a great harvest for next year, and this plant will have a 2-month to 3-month head start on everything else that you grow from seed. All right, so here is that first cut. I'm going to come up right here and take that off. Take that one off there. Do the same thing over here. And so this one kind of got touched with frost a little bit about a week ago, so it's kind of all dying back. Normally there'd be a bunch of leaves and stuff right through here, but there isn't. So we do that with this one, and I'll kind of show you on how everything else would look too. And so after you're all done with that, you are left with these spindly looking things. Okay, and you're just trying to pull everything back so it forces everything back into the roots, and it kind of just goes into hibernation. I kind of left these on here to show you, so if you have any like straggler leaves left on there, you're just going to go through and you're going to prune them. You can trim them off with your gardening shears or whatever you have, but usually I just kind of pinch them off with my fingers. Okay, so we're going to go through all those, get everything off. Got a little pepper growing there. And so it would look like this, okay? Now, from here, what you're going to do is, this is probably a little bit too small. They did grow very well in this, You know, I probably could keep them in here. But what you would do is you would dig out all this. So you would dig out the root system, kind of about right here, pull these out, and you would put them in a different pot or a grow bag, okay? The ones that I have from the garden, I actually have down in the basement, and I will show you that momentarily. And so these are the ones that we pulled out from the ground in the garden. You can tell they're a little bit hardier, they're a little bit bigger, so they're at more ample space to grow. But here in the back is our Megatron jalapenos, and then our King of the North bell peppers and bell peppers, okay? I'm gonna keep these a little bit kind of close together and just see how they work. This is the first time I'm kind of keeping two in the same grow bag, but I think they will work very well. These are actually growing side by side in the garden, which you can do, which I talked about before. So what you'll do is kind of take them out of the ground, shake off the root ball a little bit, and then you're going to do indoor potting mix, pre-moistened if you can, and then put them in there, put more indoor potting mix on the top. The reason why we do indoor potting mix is we don't have to deal with, you know, fungus gnats or fungus or mold kind of growing throughout the winter, okay? And then what you'll do is you will use a fertilizer just to kind of keep them on life support, to keep them going, because it's a big shock to their system once you yank them out of the ground. So what I use is Neptune's Harvest. It's a 242 fertilizer. This is usually about 1 ounce or 8 ounces, I believe. I'll have to double check on that. So it's a quarter or an eighth of a cup, so 1 ounce per gallon. That's what you would mix with everything. So you can add that liquid fertilizer as soon as they get in there. If you're using grow bags like mine, I just kind of leave them outside for a day or two, knowing that, you know, hopefully they don't get frostbite or any of that type of stuff. So doing this a couple days or maybe in a couple weeks before that you have a real great chance of frost, just so this can kind of dry out a little bit so you're not getting your floor soaking wet in the basement. And then from there, what we're eventually going to do is we will hang a grow light across here, you know, roughly about 1 foot to 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet above, just so they can get that natural, you know, the artificial grow lighting to kind of keep them on life support. And then once the danger of frost is gone, you can bring these bad boys back outside and start growing. So like I said, you can have a 2 to 3 month advantage over everything else that you plant from seed or from the stuff that you buy from the garden center year in and year out. And you can keep doing this over and over and over with your pepper plants every single year. So there you have it, everyone. That's a quick, easy way to overwinter your plants. It's not a very hard process. It is kind of pulls at the heartstrings when you got to rip a lot of that stuff off, but it will come back next year. You just, like I said, got to keep it on life support. You rarely ever have to water it. It should be almost dry throughout the whole winter. You may have to water it maybe once every 6-7 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks, depending on, you know, what your climate is, you know, within your basement. You just want to keep them cool and dry, and you'll get them ready to go for next spring. So I hope to see you guys all next time with the next video. Have a great one.